You've explained what some of the risks are in the past. That's a very factual, therefore a pass. Here's some things. For the merit, you're assessing, you're giving more of a broader understanding about how these risks can be overcome or reduced. For the distinction now, then what you're going to do, you have to evaluate whether this website or whether this business should be online or not. You need to make an overall judgment whether the benefits get outweighed by the risks. So let me just minimize this again. So for this, what you're doing is you're saying, I see there are risks, I see how to overcome them. Now, should I really get a website? What you're asked to do is you're asked in your evaluation, you're asked to give what is good about having an online business, what is bad about having an online business, and whether overall it usually is better one way or another to have or not. So the links I've sent here, I've sent 2, which are called something along the lines of why I should have a website. So the benefits, obviously, it means you have a presence. Nobody has to drive to your shop. They can just find your goods. I shop quite often now in the evening while I'm watching television. It makes your company known without having to spend too much money on advertising. It's there, so any information someone wants, they can get. It can support an advertising campaign. Of course, if you have a frequently asked questions section, many people now will look there rather than having to phone up and ask your staff. You can use it as a place where customers can be shown how to use your goods or what goods you have. And this can make more customers. What else? It makes you look professional. If you have a website, you can be a very, very small business, and yet people will see that you have an overall professional view and will trust you more. Of course, you can have Google advertising, or you can fine-tune some of the code in the website so that Google directs people to your website more often. And that's not difficult to do. And it's a really good way of you showing your products and services. Here is an example. Also, you can show your reviews and what we call testimonials. And that, again, I often buy things now if I've had a review. You can encourage people to come to you and to make a conversation with you and to converse with you. And that is very difficult to get customers to actually talk to you. So if you have a website, that's a really good place to get that communication going. Of course, a website, it's really easy to make a map with your location, and people can also join a mailing list, at which point you have that connection with them. But you must follow your privacy policy. It makes you better known in the industry, and really these days they're quite easy to do. So those are all the arguments for having a website. But we know that there are difficulties. We've looked already at the risks, and the other 2 links I've included are things why you might go against that. Now, one of these is almost a sarcastic option, because they're saying really you do need to have one. They're saying, well, if you're saying customers are elsewhere, well, you're not thinking hard enough. If you're saying, well, I don't have a business goal, so I can't have a website, they're saying you need a business goal. You're not sure who you're marketing to. You need to know who you're marketing to. One of the possible objections All your competition has a website, so what would it actually add? Well, without it, you won't be known. So it may not add a lot, but it won't. It will at least pull you straight with your competitors. And maybe they're saying, well, I need people now, not when they've, I've built the website. You do, but that doesn't stop that continuous connection with your customers. This second is a more useful website, and it has some slightly more usable arguments. Maybe you're saying, I don't know what the website would do for me. If you're not sure about that, then you probably haven't written a goal clearly enough. It won't find customers for you, and it won't help you find customers, but if you have customers and if you advertise, you have a place for them to now find you. Another one is saying, well, we're going to be fine. We're fine on the high street as we are, so why do I need to bother branching out? You should always consider all the new routes to sales. So even though you don't think that your shop is going to fail, or your customers, your regular customers will leave you, by having a website, you are ready just in case. And another worry that people have is that it's going to cost a lot. You do need to pay for a professional. If you don't, you go back to square one, that risk of safety and security being lost, and perhaps potentially losing reputation, losing data, being hacked. But if you have somebody make a good quality website, or you use a good quality website maker, you will have a good enough and safe enough website that is going to keep you safe and your customers happy. Also, a lot of these website makers have really very nice templates now, very elegant, and they also have templates where if you're on a phone, it will look slightly different and be built in a way to suit phone use, and if you're on a desktop, then it will have be ready for that. So those are there are not many good reasons not to have a website. There are lots of good reasons to have a website. So when you answer your distinction, you really want to say, here are some reasons why I should have a website. Here are reasons why I maybe don't need a website, but overall my final judgment is that whichever, and these are the biggest arguments, these are the biggest reasons why I say that this one way to have a website or not to have a website is absolutely the way to go. When I write a distinction answer, I imagine myself talking to a client. They have paid me a lot of money to sorry, I just got confused for a second. They have paid me a lot of money to come up with an answer. They're like, well, I don't know, you're the consultant, should we build a website or not? And your report should say, on the one hand, here's why you should. On the other hand, here are the problems or the reasons why you shouldn't. And our decision as the consultant for you, we would recommend that you do. Because overall, it will do this, that, and the next thing to benefit you. So think of that. Picture yourself writing this answer, this distinction to the client. Explain to them for and the against, and then your overall judgment of what is the best option.